Hi guys, I hope you're good. Based on this picture, admittedly a bad resolution, I would like to tell you today what we will do. We will create a progress bar. This bar shows how far your current process is and how much you still need to finish your task. Without progress bars, the console, whether it's a Python console or the Windows terminal or any other console, will appear frozen, which can be quite frustrating for you and anyone you want to demonstrate your code to. A progress bar helps to keep yourself and your customers, like teachers, friends, or work colleagues, up to date. It also helps you to be sure that your program is working and not just running into nothing. So have fun and enjoy it. So to start this session, we will introduce the package which is responsible for the progress bars. It's called tqdm. tqdm is used to create this progress bar. tqdm is called with brackets. It takes one iterable, and you can also pass some text that you want in order to create the progress bar. What we need to do is we need to import collections. From collections we import iterable because we want to test whether it just works for iterables. So you can use it like more dynamically. And we need to clarify what an iterable is. So an iterable is basically some object that you can use to iterate through. It's basically already in the name, iterable. So for example, if you can do a for loop with it and it works, it's an iterable. So let's just show you this. We will create a list. I will call it just list A. And you can see it here. If I type in list A, it's a list, and we will check whether the list is an iterable. For E in list A, print I. So if this works, this is an iterable. And it works, there is no error. But we also have a more fancy solution to show whether it's an iterable. To do that, I will define a custom function. Def is iterable, and with a variable if is instance itervar iterable, return true. So we will not return a boolean but like a print, else return false. We will execute this in the console, and the problem with Python is that it doesn't have a type object iterable. Because of that we need to import iterable. So if I would do, for example, is instance text string, we will get a true because text is clearly a string, but without the import for iterable it wouldn't work. This is the reason why we need to import this. So we have now a helper function to show us whether list is an iterable. We had list A is list text and is iterable. List A should give us now a true, and it gives us a true, even in the string format like we declared it here. So let's try something else. Is 1 an iterable? Just think of it, could I loop through a 1, just a 1, without anything else? I think we couldn't, and also our function is telling us we can't. So for tqdm, we just need iterables, which makes sense. So if you have a progress bar, you are doing something iteratively. So you're doing it via a for loop or a while loop or anything else in that area. So you need an iterable. So before you put something in the tqdm, make sure it's an iterable. And because we have cleared this now, we can go on to tqdm. From tqdm, import tqdm. and from time import sleep, so we can show the progress bar, because usually our functions are pretty fast, so we won't see like a rising progress bar, but we would see immediately 100%. Because of that, we want to use sleep, and we will create some variable text, and now we will iterate over it for char in tqdm. Let's declare the alphabet. Let's sleep some bit. Let's make it not a second, but 0.25 seconds. And add this to text. So what happens if we execute this? You can see this. You saw this? It was like from 0 to 100%, and because it was fast, we can actually also type in 1 second, and you see here 0, 25%, 50%, 75%, and 100%. So this works, and it's in the Python console, but it would work in the terminal as well. So what can we do next? Actually, tqdm has some fancy helper function, which is trange. So in order to create an iterable, like I said before, 1 is not an iterable, for example. And same counts for 10. 10 is not an iterable. Well, I'm gonna need to, so yeah, 10 is not an iterable. But if I type in range, this works, because range is an iterable. Because it goes from 0 to 10, and also for e in range, print e will print us the elements from 1 to 9, from 0 to 9. So in order to avoid this, tqdm offers us this. So we don't have to create too complicated nested functions. We can just use trange. So let's try this out. And you can see here how it's rising. This is showing us the iterables, and we can see that it's like from 1 to 100. So if you have some more complicated iterable, not like trange from 1 to 100 or tqdm, and you pass in some list values, but if you have something more complex, you can just outsource it. So let's do this. I will do it again with a simple example, but of course at home you can use a very difficult example, and it's just making the code more clear. Let's do it 0.25 seconds. And set a description. With a string interpolation. Oh, sorry. So let's execute this. And you can see it works also if we just push it out. So thank you very much for your time. And in the next video, we are applying the tqdm to a pandas data frame. So see you then. Bye.